Hey there, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to another awesome episode of On the Throttle with Jacqui Van Ham. And my buddy Josh had to take the week off this week, so today is just a solo one-on-one, mano-a-mano episode, and we'll get into today's show topics right after a word from our sponsors.
From the trails to the track, D.I.D chains are manufactured with the highest quality materials and designed to give you an optimal riding experience and are the top chain choice worldwide. When performance, quality, and consistency matter, go with D.I.D. What drives you?
Hauling it to the track, blasting over it, pushing the limits, aiming for the top. You're always in it to win it, and you want to stay cool. Super Cool Boil Guard reduces engine operating temperatures by up to 20 degrees. Super Cool Performance. Superior protection against cavitation, corrosion, and erosion. Don't get beat by the heat. Visit redlineoil.com for products designed and engineered to keep you cool.
So for today's show, I had a handful of things that I wanted to chat with you about, including some new news from the folks over at Harley-Davidson. I've got a little bit more beep, 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 breaking MotoGP news, and a little bit of an event roundup that I haven't done in a hot second. There's so much going on this month. I decided to kind of cherry pick the best of the best that's coming up in the next handful of weeks. So make sure you go on ahead, hit that share, subscribe, notifications on, do all the things, touch all of the buttons because you are not going to want to miss any of the great news coming your way. And go ahead and share this video with your friends that love hearing about awesome things going on out here in the world of motorcycling. So our very first story for today, motorcycle was just released from the folks over at Harley-Davidson. They released this absolutely beautiful bike this past week. This is a part of a limited collection of motorcycles. They revealed their first bike in this series last year. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the details of this absolutely beautiful 2022. This is going to be the Lowrider El Diablo, and it joins the limited edition Icons collection. So this beautiful bike is an extension off of the Lowrider ST. It is a limited production run of just 1,500 bikes. The 2022 Harley-Davidson Lowrider El Diablo introduces a custom red paint job, factory-installed Rockford Fosgate audio, and has a price tag just south of $28,000. So this bike belongs, obviously, to that lineup of bikes I just mentioned, the Lowrider ST. I'm not going to lie, I am completely into this bike. I think this is so sharp-looking. I love the throwback retro paint. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But the Lowrider ST in general, if anybody from Harley's watching, I want to ride this bike. I want to throw a leg over this bike. This looks like a heck of a good time. I love that it's got that kind of nasty bagger vibe, but it is a little bit smaller, just a tiny bit smaller than some of the other baggers that are floating around out on the marketplace. I think this is just really, really sharp. Ashley, go ahead, throw that next slide up. It is going to be part of this lineup of motorcycles, like I just mentioned, part of this Icons lineup. They revealed this bike, which this also had me completely gagged. I am in love with this bike. I would swear that this bike is from the late 60s, early 70s. It is not. This is brand spanking new. This just was released last year. Again, it's part of this new limited collection of bikes called the Legend, or what is it called? The Limited Icon series. It's part of the Revival collection. That's the word I'm looking for. Next slide, please. If you want to go ahead and show a couple more pictures of this beautiful El Diablo. So the Lowrider El Diablo is a modern expression of the iconic 1983 Harley-Davidson XFRT and a representation of the creative times it was born in, says Brad Richards, who's the Vice President of Design and Creative Director of Motorcycles Harley-Davidson. It embodies the spirit of counterculture in Southern California in the 1980s in a contemporary package that features meticulously crafted custom paint, including pinstripe, trajectories that nod directly to those of the original FXRT. And I've got that slide also. Next slide, Miss Ashley, if you don't mind. I went ahead and grabbed a picture of that 1983 Harley-Davidson FXRT Sport Glide that he was just referencing Brad Richards in that interview. And as you can see, it is clearly making very clear lines back and forth between the modern bike and this retro bike from the early 1980s. For the FXRT bros out there, FXRT is a huge, huge design reference in Harley-Davidson land and a lot of other motorcycle manufacturers right now, with this cool bagger vibe and the big front fairing and the hard bags and all that kind of good stuff. I think the original 1983 is a sharp looking bike, but this modern version that was just released, only 1,500 units, that was released this past week, is absolutely stunning. I love it. I am here for it. I think it is absolutely beautiful. What do you think out there watching at home? Throw it in the comments. Let me know what you think about this bike. Is one of these going to go in your garage? Are you going to drop almost $28,000 on this beautiful bike to own one of these one of 1,500 produced machines? Let me know. Let's go ahead and chat about it in the comments. Now, my next story for today, a little bit different conversation. We're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on over at MotoGP. In our last show, I started to talk a little bit, or I chatted a little bit about what's going on over in MotoGP, because it is a little bit of the quote-unquote silly season, even though they are still underway. It is that magical time of year when everybody starts shuffling around the chairs on the deck of the Titanic and starts moving the chairs around, jumping onto different seats, jumping off of their seats, and this is absolutely a little bit of a dramatic situation going on over at KTM. So this has been their MotoGP rider for this past year. This is the MotoGP rookie, Remy Gardner, who is from Australia. KTM has not renewed his contract. After one very, very brief and quite rocky year with KTM, they are deciding to go ahead and not renew that contract. Breakups are hard, especially when they're one-sided, such is the case with the split between KTM's MotoGP team and Tech 3 rookie rider Remy Gardner. With less than 1 year of MotoGP experience to his name, KTM informed number 87 that they were 86ing him for the 2023 season. In an interview with the Italian outlet Motociclismo, Gardner stated that KTM claimed he was not professional enough to continue with the team next year. Gardner not only questioned the feedback itself, but also wondered how KTM arrived at its assessment. In an interview, he said, I don't know what they mean. I have not been given any reason or any example of this lack of professionalism, explained Gardner. I feel that I have given my 100% for them. My intention was to continue here and give my best. They have broken my heart, and I feel that the Moto2 World Championship I gave them is not appreciated. Sorry, a little coffee pit stop. So yes, this young man, Remy Gardner, did win the Moto2 for KTM aboard this bike. He is a champion. He was picked up and bumped up to the MotoGP season. This year he had a very, very rocky year. He had bike problems. He had health problems. He had a couple of accidents, and it didn't go real well. And the folks over at KTM have decided to cut him loose. Now, this is pretty dramatic because, again, for only being with KTM in the MotoGP class for 1 year, is that enough time for really hardly anybody to really nail a bike and win on it right out of the gate? I mean, maybe Valentino Rossi, maybe Marc Marquez could pull that off. But Remy Gardner, I don't think really had the time to develop aboard that bike. And he also, again, did have some mechanical troubles as well. So it wasn't all just rider-based. There was some bike issues. But I'm really curious about this not professional enough. What does that mean? What exactly does that mean? Nobody's really commenting on it. Is it the fact that he's young? Is it the fact that he's Australian? Who knows? But he was good enough for KTM to win Moto2 championship. So I think he should be given the chance to stick around, but that is absolutely not going to happen. And as of today, nobody has picked him up. So he might have had a very, very quick, very short-lived career in MotoGP. We'll all have to stick around. Stay tuned to find out. The minute we have that breaking news, I'm going to bring it to you here on the program. Now, my next story for today's show is going to be talking a little bit about some awesome events that are coming up here quick, and in short order. I touched on these a show or two ago, but I just want to put them back at the top of your list because these should definitely be on your to-do. Our very first event that I want to talk about for today is the cross country chase. I am a huge fan of this event. This is part of the cross country motorcycle cannonball folks put this on. The cross country chase was founded to be a little bit of a quote unquote faster, quicker, shorter version of the cannonball. The motorcycle cannonball takes darn near, I think, 3 weeks. This is the quote unquote shorter version, and they've done a couple of these going from like top to the bottom of the US. Or this, however, is the Get Your Kicks on Route 66 version. This is going from Illinois all the way across the US over to Los Angeles. There are going to be stops every single day, whether they are at hotels or scheduled stops at dealerships. You can head over to their social media or their website to go find out, because if this is in your area, and I mean, it's going across a lot of America, there's a good chance this is going to be in your area. Make sure you stop by and go say hey to these guys and gals that are taking part in this epic cross-country adventure aboard antique motorcycles. I promise you will not regret it. You will have a great time. You will, dare I say, learn something, and you very well might watch somebody take apart an antique motorcycle in a parking lot and put it back together right before your very eyes. That is the cross-country chase going on Route 66. This kicks off in just a week or so. This kicks off, I'm sorry, I can't see the date on there. It says September 15th. So this kicks off on September 15th. So it is coming up very, very quickly. Go check out those dates. If you have one near you, make sure you go peek in and say hey. Next slide, Miss Ashley. Our next event coming up, again, I touched on this, but I thought this deserved another little bit of a shout out. This is my buddy Alan Lane, who's been hosting this absolutely epic motorcycle event called Clutch Control. This took place for the beginning a handful of years over in Philadelphia. This now is at NJMP, New Jersey Motorsports Park. This is tons of incredible, the best in America. Stunt performers are going to be there. There's going to be music. There's going to be bike shows. There's going to be custom bike shows. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be all sorts of rad stuff going on. Again, this is at NJMP, New Jersey Motorsports Park. This is on September 17th. Put that on your calendar. Next slide, my friend. I've got two events that I did not talk about on a previous show. These are, however, on the exact same weekend, so you're going to have to really put your thinking cap on and decide which one you're going to want to go to. I'm not going to lie, as of today's date, I am still a total coin toss as to which one I'm going to go to. It is either going to be Glory Days in Pittsburgh, which I've heard is a fantastic custom bike show. Look at the partners and sponsors for this show. These are all some of my most favorite people here in the Midwest. So I know that this is a good time. I know several friends that are going to this to go show bikes. So this is getting slowly up on the top of my to-do list because I know this will be just absolutely excellent. Again, this show is called Glory Days. This takes place over in Pittsburgh. According to their website, Glory Days is a motorcycle gathering and show featuring artistically crafted custom bikes with soul and character. The event was created for the purpose of bringing together the community and providing inspiration for those fascinated by the craft of building two-wheeled works of art. Taking place at a National Historic Landmark, Glory Days has both a curated indoor show for invited builders and an outdoor ride-in show for anyone who wants to show up with something awesome on two wheels. Mark your calendar, don't miss out on this one-of-a-kind party coming to the Steel City. Can you dig it? And this is September 24th. This is at the historic Cary Blast Furnaces building, so really great, super industrial setting. I know this is going to be a heck of a good time. But there's another awesome event going on the exact same weekend, of course, kind of in the same neck of the woods, and this is over in Michigan. This is Motocross of Nations. This is all of the European Motocross GP guys duking it out head-to-head with the AMA pros here in the United States. This is at Red Bud, which is in the very, very southwestern corner of Michigan, just north of Indiana, so very close to Chicago, a couple of hours north of Indianapolis. This is Motocross of Nations. This takes place at a place called Red Bud, and this looks awesome. The last time it was in this country was in 2018. I follow along. I follow this event. I am a huge fan. If you're a motocross nerd and dirt nerd, this should be at the top of your list. This is not just excellent racing. This is a party to end all parties. This is absolutely bananas. This is crazy town. This is people camping. This is RVs. This is just a wild dirt party for 3 days straight in the boondoggles of southern Michigan. So I am super torn. I am not going to lie. Tell me in the comments, which event do you think I should go to? Which event do you want coverage from? Do you want to see Motocross of Nations? You want to see awesome custom bikes over in Pittsburgh? Let me know. I'm not kidding. Like, this is going to be a coin toss for me, and it might just come down to you telling me what you want to see, and I'm going to go ahead and go fulfill all of those dreams for you and myself and go attend one of these awesome events over on the 24th of September. Motocross of Nations, however, does run for multiple days, so there's that. The Glory Days show is only 1 day, however, so anyway, I still got my thinking cap on. I'm still deciding. I'm passionate about both. Both are going to be awesome. So I'm definitely still in a little bit of a quandary. Let me know in the comments. And that has been today's On the Throttle with your girl in the know for all things motorcycle, Jacqui Van Ham. Again, thanks for clicking, liking, and sharing all of these videos with your friends that love watching and hearing about awesome things going on out here in motorcycle land. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're watching over there on the YouTubes. If you're watching here on the Facebooks, welcome back. Make sure you go ahead and hit notifications on. You are not going to want to miss our next episode. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I will see you next week.